Hello and welcome to the CrizzleCast. I'm your host, Crizzle. This is our first ever episode, and I'm very excited to keep this continuing. On this episode, we talk with our good friends Joe Java and Baja about streaming, getting into streaming, and what it takes. And then we also get into our favorite games of 2022, both on stream and off stream. So definitely keep in tune, and I hope you enjoy it. I guess we should start with because all three of us, well, me and Joe right
Yeah.
now, Baja wants to get into it, so actually different perspectives. Um,
Yes, Master of Ceremonies.
yeah.
Indict us into our first topic.
So,
One step forward,
what
10 steps back.
what has gotten you into streaming? Like, how did you start streaming, or what has gotten you interested in streaming? And Joe, we'll start with you.
Let's start with me. Oh God, hello.
Oh, hello.
Uh not even like a how do you do? No welcome in or just talk about our
Well,
day.
you know what?
Just
How
right
about
into
I?
it.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Uh, Introducing first, Mr. Joe Java, who has an
Hello.
incredibly successful Twitch channel, does a lot of different content. VTuber extraordinaire. Look at that sexy model. It's my camera's blocking your face now.
It's fine. It's fine.
Not anymore.
Ah, so like you said, VTuber. I started VTubing this year. This model is made by a really cool person named Huchu. You can follow them on Twitter and also on Twitch. Literally at Huchu, HYUUCHUU. I'm gonna plug them every time I'm ever in anything ever because this model is amazing and I owe them a lot for how much hard work they put into it.
So it's HYU.
Uh, yeah, HYUU and then
Well, hold on. Let me use
CHUU.
my mod privileges for the first time. Let's see.
Oh my god.
Is she gonna
Baja
do
with
it?
the mod
She gonna
power?
do it?
Yeah.
I did it wrong. No, I didn't. No, I did it.
YouTube.
I put
There we go. Hey.
And we got a nice little clip up there.
Yeah. They are an Astrocat VTuber and they are really cool. But so what got me into streaming? That is a question. So I feel like I'm in that weird age like I'm in that weird age group where like I watched a lot of YouTube but not until after I was like 11, where like a lot of zoomers nowadays were like YouTube and TikToks like from the moment they're out they're out the womb. um I didn't discover that kind of stuff until like I was like 12 or so,
Okay.
but I remember there was like a couple of YouTube channels I was super into. I remember like watching Chugga Conroy with his Nintendo stuff. I remember watching Markiplier. Let's see who else. There's a couple of channels. There was a one channel. I think they stopped making stuff, but they were called like We Like to Play. We spelled like WII,
Mhm.
and they were like a four-man group. And like when you're a kid, when you're like 12 or whatever, and you're still like you don't really know how to do things, I saw that and I was like, I can do that. It,
What next?
editing. I don't have to edit anything. I can just get unregistered hypercam 2 and just record myself playing with this with this damn fucking microphone that you would use for like karaoke and stuff.
Okay.
So I have my laptop, a karaoke microphone, no headphones by the way, so I don't even know what I sound like. Um and I'm just playing like on a fucking GBA emulator, playing things like Super Mario Superstar Saga and Mega Man Battle Network. And like I it's that weird thing where like if I kept doing it, cuz like I got discouraged. I made like two different Let's Play series. I got discouraged, and like I also at the time I was working in my grandpa's like restaurant a lot at the time. So I was just like, well, either I keep making YouTube videos, or I can keep working at a job and have money for things. And then capitalism won.
Capitalism
Um,
always ends up winning in this country, so yeah, I get
capitalism
it.
won.
I get it.
So I kind of
Mhm.
gave up on that ideal. But I always told myself like one day I'm gonna have a good job, and I'm gonna be able to just make YouTube videos on the side with like a good paying job after I get through college, after I get like into the job I want, because I've always wanted to be a programmer like my mom. Um, so I uh I kind of got through college and stuff, and in 2018 I discovered Twitch, which was like this really cool thing where you can stream and like people can interact with you. And I was like, "Wow, that's cool." Um so I tried like one stream, and I had like one guy in there, and like I was just like, "Oh, that's so much fun." You know what? I'm going to try it again, but I didn't have good internet, and I didn't have like a whole lot of stuff. So I kind of like put that on the back burner, but I was like, "This is cool." And like I think in 2020 I really started to try and stream. I feel like that's everyone's story where they're like, I really started like doing content stuff in 2020 when, we were locked inside our houses.
Yeah, the pandemic played a
Mhm.
massive part, and I'll get into that with mine when it's my turn.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
I'm excited to hear your story, your origin story.
the Crizzle's origin
His
story.
lore, the
The
Crizzle
lore.
Frog lore.
I have to now go onto the
Ooh.
Wikipedia page for CrizzleCast Gaming, and I have to update it.
Hold up, I'm pulling that up right now as we speak.
Oh, we have to update the lore. But like in 2020, I started like doing more stream stuff, and was it in 2021 or 2020 that I found the Grumps Discord server? Because I don't remember.
Well, we started that server mid to late 2020. I want to
Okay,
say I think that
so
server started around August, maybe even September. Um,
I I don't know how early on I was in there. I remember seeing like a Facebook thing because I joined a Facebook group for Game Grumps because I was like, oh, this is cool. I like Game Grumps.
Nib says
And then
August
I was
September. We just got fact checked, so that
thank
was
you.
correct.
Thank you, Nibs. Um, so I remember joining that. I think it was in 2021, early on. Um, but here's the thing: when it comes to online stuff, I have the worst anxiety ever. I don't know why. Like if we meet face to face, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day or whatever." Start a conversation. Online, I'm like, I handshake on the keyboard whenever I have to message someone anything. May 3rd? Yeah, that sounds about right.
May 3rd of 2021.
Yeah, so like I have bad social anxiety on like the internet, which is
I
the
think it's
weirdest thing.
because you can't read their body language, and you have
Yeah,
no
Mhm.
visual feedback, so you don't know if the conversation's going well. You don't know, what's going on. All you have is just that other person's voice, and all you can pick up is on verbal cues.
yeah,
So
that or like text where you don't even have that, where it's just like, I have to now interpret your meaning. Oh God, I have to interpret your meaning. Um, so that was like terrifying. And then like everyone was in like a Discord call, and like I'm like, okay, I'm in this group now. I want to meet new people. But what if they're doing something important? What if I'm interrupting them? What if they tell me to leave? What if they think I smell?
And that's such a big play on social anxiety in and of
No,
itself.
please. I don't want you to hate me immediately. So but I jumped in, and everyone was super nice and super welcoming, and
we
it made me want to stay.
we've created a
Um
really great family at the Grumps
True.
Among Us Discord. I gotta say, I'm
Mhm.
really proud of
Yeah.
a lot of the friendships that we've made there, and a lot of us have had a chance to meet each other, go on our own adventures. I don't think I have that set up with Nightbot yet. If it is, it's going to be my Discord and not the Grumps Among Us one. Uh, Hold on. I
I
can get the
appreciate
link.
the I
I can get
appreciate
the
the
link.
trying to use it. That's really cool.
I'll get the link.
Just like in the middle of your amazing, like very emotional
Like, hold
monologue,
on,
just like,
I will save the
hold on, I
tears.
don't
Let
think
me
this
give you the
works.
link.
I got the link. I posted the link. Um
There you go.
um
Um,
but
but
go ahead, you go ahead.
yeah, I joined the Discord and like you guys are super nice, and I was streaming not as like I was streaming a little bit before then, but I was like still like I wasn't even an affiliate when I met you guys. And then you guys were just like, hold our beer, we're going to help you get affiliate real fast. And I was like, what the fuck? You don't have to do that. And you were like, yeah, but we want to. Um,
One
and
thing
then
I've
it
been a proponent of is I want everyone around me to succeed. You know what I mean? I don't want just the
yes,
success for myself. I
exactly.
uh,
Success doesn't mean anything unless you're pulling up people with you.
exactly. And like there's a lot of streamers
Mm,
that look at this as kind of a competition, and I don't look at it that way.
no.
This is a
It's
great way to network, make friends, and to
Mhm.
build, each other up.
yeah.
Um,
It's it's not a race. It's what else would you
It's a
say?
brisk walk in the park.
It's a walk in the park with your friends.
yeah,
Hmm.
what it is.
That's that's a very good way of putting it. Um, but yeah, and it wasn't until November of 2021 that I debuted my model, and now I am a VTuber, which is cool. Um, mainly just because I like the fact that like I've watched anime all my life, and now I've basically made myself an anime character, which is the coolest shit, I gotta
That
say.
it is pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty
Hmm.
dope.
Like, yes, finally, my OC has been realized. I feel so much more powerful.
Oh my
But
god.
but yeah, and there's like I'm starting to realize now that like even though like I am where I am with streaming, I'm trying to get more I'm trying to get more like what's the word? I'm trying to just like interact more with the people that come to watch my stream, cuz like I can
Hmm.
stream and play video games or whatever, but I want people to have fun. I want to be entertaining to them. But I also know that I have to like I have to bring something to the table, and I have to like make people want to stay to watch. Like
Hmm.
the whole point of this is for me to like entertain people like I've always wanted.
Right?
But now I'm like finding like I have way more fun when I at least have like one other person to bounce off of, whether they're in chat, whether they're streaming with me. And
Hmm.
when I'm having more fun, I feel like other people are having more fun. So there's that.
I mean,
Also,
all
oh,
of the best moments on my stream have been with other people and bouncing stuff off
true.
of them. I mean, like
I
when
mean,
we
the drive through.
you just took the words right out of my mouth. That whole drive-through bit that we did when we were playing Hello Neighbor in October was
Oh
absolutely
man,
Hilarious.
hilarious. It was
God, that
absolutely
fucking
hilarious.
kills me every time you fucking you reference it. It kills me because it's so goddamn funny.
I mean, the drive-through.
I mean, the drive through. Oh, it makes me laugh so hard. Oh, fucking God, that's so fun.
But I think that, you know, bringing something I think one thing that it's been very difficult for me to realize, it was very difficult for me to realize early on, and it's something that I've grown more and more to understand is you don't have to worry so much about what you bring to the table because you actually bring enough just as you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whether
ah,
it's the funny jokes that you make, whether it's all extensions of your personality, and that's you. You know what I mean? I think if you're genuine to who you are and you realize your identity and you roll with it, the
mm-hmm.
content you make is going to be genuine. The people who will want to interact
You
with you will see that and will bounce off of it.
and
Yeah.
you don't have to play off of this fake persona, and it will
Mm,
never feel forced. It's always just going to genuinely be you. And the
exactly.
people you begin to interact with will be more than just, oh, hey, yeah, we play games sometimes. It's,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, he's my friend. He's one of my best friends. They're family.
Yeah.
And also, that's touching too on what our Discord group has become. I mean, me personally, it's become like a second family to me. And like, words
Hmm.
cannot describe how grateful I am that I've met every single one of you.
And C Nomad just completely hit the nail on the head with that as
Yep,
well.
I see it.
Um,
Yeah, I'll read it for. Oh my god, I know I'm not in this, but something I realized a few days ago is the less I put on a face for stream, the more people enjoy interacting.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I get that. It's really interesting to me how like at first I tried to be someone I'm not, and now I'm like kind of mellowed out into my
Mhm.
person. Um, and it's just like the little things that I do that like kind of make people laugh. I was one instance was I was playing The Grinch for PlayStation 1.
oh my god, that game was horrible.
Okay, to
I
agree to
have like
disagree. I like that
fever
game.
dreams of it.
Just a little bit. I
Ooh,
like that game a little bit. It's not bad to me. The
it's
junkyard
not.
level
It's
the
not.
junkyard level
I
is
remember
terrible,
playing
but
that as a kid that Christmas when it came
it's
out.
so funny. It's so goddamn
Oh,
funny
it takes
though.
me back in time.
But there's like a camp level like late into the game, and someone was in my chat, and like I didn't even notice this until like a little bit after, but like there was a moose enemy that was chasing me, and it hit me once, and I said, "All right, Bullwinkle, how about you fuck off?" And like, yeah, exactly. And like someone like their first chat ever was, "All right, I've been watching for a while. I followed you because of that fucking Bullwinkle comment," and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh hell yeah, that's awesome." So that really like it definitely brightened my mood, and it made me want to stream even longer that day. Just like getting any compliment, like kind of that kind of thing, just like makes me, yes, I've been complimented. The power of positivity fuels me even further.
Hell yeah.
Um, but I'm going to now flip the arrow back to Mr. Gaming, and Mr. Gaming, would you like to elucidate us onto why you started streaming?
Oh wow, I'm next. I thought I was gonna go with Baja and try to be a nice host.
Nope, this is your stream, your
Ah,
podcast.
Yeah, you were being nice, just letting me go first.
Mhm.
All
well,
right, Mr. Gaming, please tell me about your gaming.
Come on, Mr.
ah.
Streamer Man.
So I'll go back in time a little bit um, before I started streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I
tell us about your
graduated
culture.
with my bachelor's in show production,
Mm-hmm.
sciences and whatnot from Full Sail University in June of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, from the moment I started that program, I really liked doing live behind the scenes stuff. Obviously, lighting and video specifically. I'm not as good
Yeah.
at audio. I was very good at video though. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I graduated valedictorian of my class.
Mhm.
Went to went to went to work for
Hey.
Disney, SeaWorld, and then a lighting contractor that worked with Universal Studios. About 80% of the lighting fixtures that are in Nintendo World in Japan went through my hands for testing and addressing and you know quality control and whatnot. So I'm very proud of the work that I did for that.
Use
Which
the
leads
goddamn
me.
fucking toy to like.
Sorry, I'm just
Oh,
imagining
look,
It's just
Chris.
like Jiminy
Just
Cricket sticker right on my
no,
face as I'm
I was
talking and like telling my story. Uh,
no, I'm just I'm more thinking just Chris is like this like extremely overly buff person at a desk, and like like a fucking question mark block goes to your desk, and you're like, I approve
Raise the
this light
goddamn
fixture,
fucking
and
toy
you
to
send
like,
it
and
through,
say, oh,
and then
um,
someone sends in
hobo
like a
fucking dick
ninja, and you're
cheese
like,
cricket.
no, and you throw
Right?
it and cast it to the flames.
no, that's not how it worked. I was in a warehouse for most of the time. I was in a
Ah,
warehouse and I would unpack fixtures, unpack fixtures, get them all plugged in, run power, set them up, go into the console, set a scene where I'm running. If they're color fixtures, run through all the different colors to make sure everything's quality correct, and they would
mm-hmm.
run for 24 hours. Then the next day I would
Ah,
come in, unpack them, pack them up to be shipped to Japan, and then unpack the next set of lights to do it again. I did this for
okay.
roughly a year and a half.
Hmm.
Um, in May of 2020, I got very sick on the job. I
Ah,
was getting fevers every night. I was taking medicine, nothing was happening. I decided to go to like urgent care. They ran an MRI on me and found that I had had an abscess in a particular area of my body that I'm not sure I want to talk about on the first podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
Super messy.
so
Just diving all the way in.
I was rushed to the hospital and operated on the next day because apparently I was so septic. If I had waited another day, I was going to die. Which then my surgeon would not clear me to go back to work because of the nature of my job. He was not going to clear me to go back to work for 10 months was what my original quote was. I went back in two because they moved me to sitting at a desk, which is funny enough. They wanted me out of the warehouse and out of heavy lifting to get me back sooner. So I came back July 1st was my first day back, and I was let go on July 31st of that same month. And that was because Universal had pulled all of their contracts back from all for the new park, which was Epic Universe, which was a massive, stream of revenue for the company. So when those contracts got pulled, they had to cut their losses on people that could not give them their most bang for the buck. And unfortunately, because I had that surgery and I couldn't do as much as I used to, I happened to just be one of those people.
That sucks.
It took me a long time to realize that it wasn't my fault. And that's just the nature of that business. But as the months started going on, and thank you so much, C Nomad, for that subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Real quick, but I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry that you. I'm sorry that you thought it was your fault, because that is the worst when something is completely out of your hands, and then your brain deceives you into thinking that like it was because of something you did, which it wasn't. And Jesus,
oh my God, Karen just gave me 5 subscribes. Oh my God,
5 subs, the power.
Oh my God,
man. So podcast next week, am I right?
Oh, every week on Sundays.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But kind of just continuing off of that day I got fired, I went to a very, very dark place. I was living with my dad in Orlando, and my dad had multiple weapons that were in a place that I could easily get to, and there's another 5 subscriptions. This is insanity.
Jesus Christ.
And, when you're in that situation, those are there. Certain thoughts begin to go through your head, and it scared the living shit out of me. So I did not go home that night. I actually drove to Tampa, and I went to my brother's house. And I talked with him about it. I talked to my mom about it. She was living there. Still is. But, and it just became all right, let's get your stuff out of there. Let's get you, to a place where you can just mentally heal and get back on the horse when it's time.
And that is good. That is good that they were there for you to do that.
And then
a lot of people aren't.
I know. And my mom was like, so, what do you want to do? Because my degree at that point during that part of the pandemic was useless because there weren't live shows happening.
Right.
So I didn't know what I could do, and there weren't a lot of places hiring because a lot of the people that were still hiring the at-home jobs were full. At that point in the pandemic, like I said, it's August, July. And then by October, I turn around, I'm like, what if I bought a gaming PC and me and my older brother Mike started a Disney-themed podcast? That was the original genesis of what we wanted to do. We pulled out of it because we found out that instead of that being a big community the way that we thought, it was actually a massive competition to get press passes from Disney. Because you can only do Disney podcasting stuff and report on Disney stuff if you have a Disney press pass. So
really, I didn't know that. Huh?
I mean, you could talk about it, you know what I mean? But to actually go there and use their stuff and stuff like that, you have to have a press pass.
I thought the mouse would be lurking in all streams. If you mention Disney and make money off of it, they come and shank you in the dark of night.
I mean, Disney will come after you. I will say that. Yeah. but we decided not to do that, and then I joined this server roughly after it was created. In fact, I was part of a Facebook group where I had made the suggestion of, hey man, maybe we should get like an Among Us group going, and then Johan created it, and I was there in the beginning, and
In the before
and
times.
it was a combination of the people in this Discord server, pushing me to do it, and I was watching a lot of one particular content creator named Mr. Fruit. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Fruit is, there's another 5 subs. What is happening right now?
Bro, you're gonna get to like the 50 and unlock new emotes.
I'm at
any
43.
day now.
I'm at
Bro.
43 now. This is insanity.
New emote hype. Let's go.
I mean, I have one in mind. Especially now.
You like my character's outfit right
But
now?
but Mr. Fruit was primarily a Destiny streamer. But he also has a podcast called GG Over. What just happened? Karen Finn, you mad lad.
Let's get it. Hey.
Damn it, Karen Finn. I was literally looking through my bank account.
So I'm
You
sure.
bitch.
We're at 50 53. My
What's
God.
up, guys? Let's keep it going.
This is
Thank
insane.
y'all.
We're at a level 5 hype train. I don't think I've ever had one that high.
Yo.
I am beside myself at the moment. As I'm trying to tell
And
this story.
as we speak about our community, about the people we love,
Just
we're caring
coming
for
through
you.
and just being the absolute
So kind.
Just
fucking
being
best of people, I
people.
swear to God.
That's okay. We love y'all.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. You love to see it.
But Mr. Fruit was doing Among Us videos at the time. And Trouble in Terrace Towns videos, which is not too dissimilar to what we do with our stuff. So it was honestly, it's like watching it and then doing it. And I had the support of a lot of really great people. They're like, yeah, man, you should absolutely do it. You're actually really funny and you would actually be really entertaining.
Yeah,
because
I've always thought you were entertaining.
You would think I'm a very extroverted person by nature, and I'm not. I'm very I've always made the joke, I'm the most extroverted introvert you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
But
I'm the opposite. I'm the most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet. Where like I can go out about the
I think
real
that's why
world
we
and,
vibe
like,
so
talk
well.
to anyone. But like the second I'm like in like the internet world, I'm like, how the fuck do you say hello? How do you ask for anything on the internet? God, I've been trying to get commissions for a thing for like a month now, and I don't know how to ask people.
Oh my goodness. But then it was November of 2020. I created the channel. The original another 5 subscribe. What is happening? What is happening? All the audio from this conversation, all the audio is just going to be interrupted by the guitar sound of the subscribe. I should have turned that off.
So, for those of you that are listening after this live airing, we are reacting to everybody on Twitch gifting us all these subs. So we are so sorry for the breaks in our stories, but thank you for sticking along.
It's hard not to like fucking react to like this amount of kindness out of nowhere.
I know.
So,
we're not even an hour into this, and I'm already like
47 minutes, baby.
overwhelmed.
We are in.
We are almost to a level 7 hype train. What the fuck?
This is insanity. Oh my God, it's Karen Finn.
It's Karen Finn. Hello.
Yes. Love you, brother.
I love you too, buddy.
Hello. I'm just jumping in to interrupt and say that as my mic is being picked up through Discord. Yeah. Okay.
Go on.
I'll be back in the other Discord listening. Bye.
Bye, Karen Finn.
Sorry for all the sub sound.
Oh, it's okay.
What a lovely chap. What a great guy.
Just the best. Honest to God,
Yeah.
just the best.
The bee's knees. Yeah.
The bee's knees.
Right.
And
So trying to get back on topic, the most introverted extrovert you've ever met, with everyone pushing
the
you
most
to.
extroverted introvert. Mm-hmm.
So everyone was pushing you to like do things and like try and follow like what you want to do, which is awesome. You gotta love it when people are like around you are like, yeah, like you can do this. We believe in you. Like people that push you to do things that you want to do and like give you the confidence to even try.
yeah.
That's a rare breed, and it's awesome that they were there for you to do that.
Yeah. And I literally just I picked a brand that I absolutely love in Miami Vice. Everyone always donates subs, but no one ever donates DOMs.
God damn it, Zesty. Yeah, I'll take a Donnie Mommy any day.
Oh, give me a Rhea Ripley. Look that one up.
Man. Yeah.
But I picked the brand based off of Miami Vice and the color scheme off of the Vice Wave jerseys for the Miami Heat that they had that year, which I still are my favorite fucking sports jerseys ever, and I still have not bought myself one. I have a hat behind me that is exactly it. It's the it's the one on the corner on the top there underneath the little banner thing.
Yeah. I can tell by just the color scheme alone. It's amazing to me that like your brand is very recognizable to me, to where I looked at that color scheme like that's Crizzle.
That's crazy.
And I've just incorporated a lot of things that I really like into this, like the whole for the brand thing. That's a Pat McAfee saying. Which love that guy. Ever get a chance, if you're not in even if you're not in sports, listen to a Pat McAfee podcast. It's great. He's just, that guy is a living legend. But kind of like round this out with mine. Had a lot of great people in this group that have supported me, that have pushed me, that have almost, in certain cases, been here every night with me. Like, I can't think of a single night where I didn't have Zesty or JC or Malk for a long time. Or Nibs. And you guys have just, you've really kind of made this, or Gingy, yeah. Sorry, Sky, you're correct with Gingy. Gingy's the one who got me the job that I'm working currently. I big ups to him.
Poggers to Gingy and chat.
Poggers to Gingy. That guy's a real one too.
Hold up, I got this.
Thank you.
But it's even like, I never thought I would have a merch store where people are like, yeah, we would actually want this stuff.
Poggers to Gingy.
Yo, I bought a hoodie. It's a nice hoodie.
Well, thank you for that. And it's really gotten me to go into like getting more into graphic design than I ever was. All of my logos are stuff that I've created on my own or stuff that I found purposed, because I'm not, the best at being an artist, but I am good at design elements. It's choo man. We had a level 6 hype train. That's still the best that we've ever had, and
I think we hit level 7 almost.
We're
almost
like
level
46% to level 7.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I get shouted out? What did I do? Gingy.
You got shouted out because we mentioned you, and
you're awesome,
and how awesome you are. So
yeah,
that is
Just gotta accept the love.
That is Crizzle's origin story that had a really sweet guitar track behind it that was on repeat for a lot.
That actually sounds really fucking epic. Like if someone put that in a Marvel movie, like a guitar riff just going the entire time while their like origin is going on. Just like, and Deadpool was brought back to a lab to cure his cancer. And then he was put in machine. Yeah, just like the guitar keeps going. Just like I could see like a Deadpool sequel, like just in case you don't know how I got here, and it's just like just the entire time. Oh man.
So
Yeah,
now
I
that
just
I've,
realized.
well, go ahead.
Oh,
What'd you realize?
I realized I never talked about why I'm Joe Java. I just kind of like, yeah, I started streaming and that's what happened. Um, the name actually. So my name is Joe, like in real life, and it's very ironic that I started going by Joe, because for most of my life I was Joey, because when you're younger than people, they're just like, yeah, that's Joey, you know,
Yeah.
small child Joey. Um, but I really started getting called Joe when I worked at a daycare, because no one's gonna listen to Mister Joey,
I
and
mean,
I
I
don't
didn't want to.
know.
I don't know, but I didn't want to use my last name either because it doesn't really. It's not a great last name. And it's not. I don't think the kids would really get it, so I was just like, yeah, I'm Mr. Joe now, and the kids liked it, and it was cool. Um, so I'm like Joe, and then like Java because I knew how to code in Java. Like that was my thing in college. I'm really good at Java programming. I've actually that is my job now. I am a mid-level Java developer, which is awesome. Um, and I'm gonna let you guys in a secret. This is only for the CrizzleCast first. I
Mhm.
I
Ooh,
didn't I didn't really like coffee when I named myself Joe Java. I've gotten more into it since then, but that's between us and the people that listen. And I'll
that's
know.
so interesting. I actually always thought you named yourself after like, your love of
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah. I'm just a fucking AI barista for a VTuber now. But like, here's the great thing: if someone in my chat comes to watch me stream, and they're like, "We know why your name is like that," I'm gonna be like, "That's for us and the CrizzleCast only. We don't talk about that here."
we don't talk about
What
Fight Club.
happens in the Crizzle stream stays in the Crizzle stream.
Very true. Fucking that fucking goofy edit I made for you for that one stream you were doing in
Oh
Paper
my
Mario.
god, yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, it makes me smile. Oh, but I think with two origin stories, it might be time to discuss someone's soon to be origin story.
Before we do that, I probably should do what you just did and explain my name.
As she's
Oh yeah.
dying over Nibs' comment.
Um, so CrizzleCraw Gaming. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
how did I come up with that? So for the longest time, I've had an online username as CrizzleCraw74, which is a combination of two of my nicknames and the number I had my senior year when I played football. Um,
Mm.
which is so unoriginal when I think about it. Um,
I mean, it's no large X small X underscore darkness 77 underscore small X large X, but
right. Uh,
Oh man, that's a
but
dig on my old alias.
but
Oh no, I didn't mean it like this. Oh god, no, what have I done?
but 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 Crizzle is a nickname I had in high school because my older brother Mike went by the moniker Big Crizzle. Uh, so like my friends just
And
called me Crizzle, and then my last name is Crossin, and so a lot of my friends would call me Craw. So when I was going on a PlayStation 3 and creating a username, I was like, I'll go with Craw. Fuck. I'll go with Crizzle. Fuck. Crizzle Craw? Fuck. Crizzle Cross 74? Got it. And when it came time to make this channel, I didn't think just calling myself Crizzle Cross 74 would be I didn't think it sounded right. Like it didn't sound like
didn't roll off the tongue.
it didn't roll off the tongue, and I was like, and I mulled it over for a couple days, and I came up with CrizzleCraw Gaming. I was like, you know what? Because that means I can open the door for all kinds of gaming. Whether I want to maybe get in a tabletop one day, D and D. I'd love to try D and D. Never done it. Um,
Mm.
card games, video games. So I was like, that opens the door for so much, and I was like, yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Um, but that's how I did that. Now, since the two of us have gone, and we were
Looks to
both
Baja.
kind of rude and left the lady last,
Yeah,
Baja,
gladly leave the lady last.
Baja,
What's that? What's
you.
that line in that Starbomb song? I always go first, but I always come last.
Oh man, you guys know that feeling when you're in class, down, and the teacher calls on you? Yeah, that's me right now. That's the feeling I'm feeling right now.
Baja, don't
Okay,
worry. It's only 80% of your final grade.
80%. Oh no. Okay, so
What I learned in boarding school is
She
what I learned in
Nibs
boarding
Nibs.
school
I've
is.
have her and Joe both turned up all the way to 200.
Hmm.
oh boy, I have I have not touched my volume settings. So
Oh.
oh
Oh.
boy, grit and bear it. Where should I start? Huh.
All right. The dad and me almost said at the beginning, but
In
well,
the
let's
beginning,
see.
there was Baja.
You know what?
Okay,
Actually, that's a really
so
good way of like starting. Where did you even get your name at, Baja?
honestly, so this is my second alias. My
Hmm.
first alias, we don't talk about her. You know, but it's Edgelord X underscore X69.
Oh no, I've committed a murder. I'm sorry. I
You
did
dug
this.
up a corpse.
I'm sorry.
I will never reveal what
Oh
it was.
no. What have I done?
But um yeah, Baja Sign just having the moment because I was really tired of my old edgy uh username, and I wanted
Hmm.
something that was slightly more of a hey, I'm 20 years old, I'm no longer a 15-year-old scene kid. Um
Yep.
so Baja Sun, it is a mashup of House of the Rising Sun and oh god, it's called Baja something something. It's like a poppy little rock song. It's
Hmm.
just two song titles mixed up. Um
Oh, okay.
so yeah, that is the origin of my username. And I guess I've always kind of wanted to get into streaming since I first got a PC. I was probably about 15, 16 years old.
Hmm.
One of my childhood best friends and me, we used to stream Left 4 Dead almost constantly. I was in an online alternative school. Um, I was a lazy child. I was not
Same.
really much of a scholarly child, didn't really give much of a shit about high school. So I always just kind of played video games. Oh my goodness, I remember there was one point I almost did 24 hours straight of Fallout 3. No sleep. My family was so concerned. They're like, dude, go to bed. It's like,
Go to
I mean, I
bed.
will at some point. Um,
The sun
but yeah.
doesn't tell me when to sleep. I do.
These missions tell me when to sleep. But yeah, no, me and my best friend, we met these two other people. I was like 15, 16. They were around our age. We met them playing Left 4 Dead. I'm still friends with them to this day, almost 10
Aw.
years later. And like that's partially why I want to stream. I would love, absolutely love, just like in this community, I would love to get to meet. Um,
Baha, I
I've
think you
ran
keep
out of
moving
water.
away from your. I think you keep
Nope.
moving away from your mic, which is why you keep like fading in and out sometimes.
I think it's just because I'm fidgeting because I am nervous.
Oh,
But
you
I'm
don't.
going to turn my mic sensitivity all the way up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it helps. But
Hmm.
yeah, no, I would love to get to meet more people and more friends. Just like I have in this community. Even touching on what was said earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baja,
she's
you're getting the
gone.
yeah. You're fading in and out on us
You're
now.
fidgeting a
I'm
lot.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Take the deep breaths. Deep breaths. Do your breathing. Do
Okay.
your breathing. The
You
no
know,
judgment here.
I made notes while y'all were talking, and I have neglected to look at my notes. I'm just going off the top of my head.
What are you, me, when I DM in Dungeons and Dragons? I made notes. I'm not using them, but I made them.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I had a gaming group when I was 15. We gamed
Nice.
Left 4 Dead almost constantly. I would
God, I
just
love
love to be
Left 4 Dead
doing
too.
more of that. I did not have a PC for probably 4 years. And once COVID started, I was like, man, I've been working constantly. I need to get back into it. Like, gaming is like one of my stress reliefs, and not having that and then being back here almost every single night, it has been it has been like so therapeutic.
Yeah.
Um
I know what you meant when you said I didn't have a PC for 4 years, but I'm just imagining 4-year-old Baja not wanting like a pony or like dolls or whatever, just her dad coming in, here's an Apple II.
Actually, what's funny is I think the very first time I ever played a game, mm, I was like 5, maybe 5, 6. First game I ever played was Nintendo 64's Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh wow.
That kickstarted me into gaming.
Oh,
So, yeah, you're pretty spot on when you're like, yeah, 4-year-old Baja doesn't want a pony. You're goddamn right, she doesn't. She wants a PlayStation 1.
You just unlocked a hidden memory for me. When I was 3, my mom introduced Super Mario World on the SNES to me, and I was pretty good. Like for a 3-year-old child, I was okay. But my grandpa was watching, and I would die, and he'd get frustrated because I'd die. But 3-year-old Joe was like, "This is hilarious." He gets upset when I do a thing. I'm going to keep doing the thing. So I kept running into holes on purpose just to rile him up. And eventually he said, "I'm just gonna walk out. I need to
I
not
can't
watch this."
stand this
I
anymore.
think that might have actually been the true origin story of Joe Java. Someone watched me play video games, and I thought it was funny how they reacted to me.
Oh my god, that reminds me too. Me and my sisters, we never lived under the same household. But my sister I'm closest with, she is 5 years younger than me. She used to love watching me play video games, and even when I was like constantly on Left 4 Dead with like my friends, like I was saying, she would just be so happy to just watch me. And at some point, gave her I gave her control, and I was like, "Here, you go do it now." She's like, "Wait, wait, wait,"
Wait,
and well,
what?
yeah, I let her play with them. Like, I let her play Left 4 Dead, and now she's really into gaming too.
Oh, that's
Her and
awesome.
her fiance, yeah, her and her fiance always are playing Overwatch. I'm so happy.
Let me take a
That's
moment
nice.
real quick just to, because everyone's kind of pouring in what their first game was. And I think it's
Yeah.
really
While you do that,
cool
I'm
to see
gonna
like
get
the
water.
correlation with everyone who's in chat right now. Sky says that her first game was the original Legend of Zelda on NES.
That's
Carrington
awesome.
also was the original Legend of Zelda on NES. Zesty says hers was Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. Nibs says the first game he can remember was Pokemon Silver. Leaves said Wind Waker was her first game.
Zelda's the game that links us together.
It
And
sure
then Nibs
is.
said that Nibs is banning him. My first, so
yeah, Mr.
I have
Gaming,
a
what is your
first-
first gaming?
I have a first game that I played, but then I have a first game that I had that made me fall in love with playing games. The first games I played were the original Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and also the original Zelda. However, for me, like, when I think of myself as becoming like the kind of gamer that I am today, based on my tastes and whatnot, that is definitely 100% a Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. But like, I remember being like 3, and like with the original Nintendo, and like 1990, and playing like the original Mario games and Duck Hunt. And
OG Pong.
my dad would get pissed off at me because I would have like the zapper gun, but instead of like pointing it at the screen, I would like thrust my arm and hit the TV with the zapper gun as I'm shooting
Oh,
the
no.
ducks.
Oh no,
That's
that's
not
not
what you're
good.
supposed to do.
I was
Yeah.
like 3.
No, we're scolding you now. How dare you do that when you were 3? You're in. You know what? You're in timeout. Someone ban him. Fucking someone time him out in chat. Nibs, you have the power. You're a mod. Do it. Thanks, Nibs.
So,
Nibs banned Chris.
oh, did he really? I don't see that on my end.
Oh, he might have tried. Oh.
But my dad loves telling those stories. Like, yeah, man, he would time out. Oh God,
Hell yeah!
he loves telling that story. Like, yeah, man, damn kid would hit the TV with the frickin' gun.
Damn kid, goddamn kid hit the TV with the gun. God damn it.
But I gotta say, like the Super Nintendo eras were like a lot of the games that I really love. It was definitely Link to the Past, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and the main ones that I can think of. I mean, I have a whole litany, a list. I could go down a whole list, but you know, those are the main 3 ones I could think of right off the top of the head.
Maha, you want to say your favorite childhood games that got you into gaming? I mean, you went over like
ones.
I know you went over Left 4 Dead and also Fallout 3, but is there anything like...
You know, here's the thing. I wouldn't even classify those as what got me into gaming because I was gaming since I was
a
small.
Wee lad.
A wee little lass. No. So, I think the ones that got me into gaming, like I said, Ocarina of Time. Oh my god. So I never beat it until maybe 5 years ago, but
I thought you were gonna say I never beat until I was 5. I was like, wow, that was a long journey.
No. So Final Fantasy VII, the original, that is one of my favorite games ever. I know a lot of people say, well, 7 is overrated. You know what? Maybe it is, but that is something I grew up with, and
but you
was
love
released the same year I was born. Like, I love the game.
Yeah.
I was a dumbass kid. I never knew how to play it, and then I always was like, I would take breaks, and I'd be like, I don't know where I am, and I would have to restart it. So yeah, that's why it took me a while to beat it. But yeah, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII. I remember playing Crash Bandicoot a lot as a kid. Spyro. Oh man, what else? Wind Waker.
Man, Spyro.
You guys remember Wind Waker for GameCube? How you would have the link cable to connect to the Game Boy.
Yeah, I remember the link cable. I was a GameCube kid.
Yeah. Well, for Wind Waker specifically, how when you connected it to the Game Boy, you could just fuck with Link as Tingle and throw bombs around. I mean, I know that's not what it was meant for,
but you can.
That's what I used to do constantly.
Hell yeah.
I used to do that with my mother figure. I would connect to the Game Boy as she was playing Wind Waker and kind of be a little bit of a shithead as a child.
Fuck you, Mom. Trying to save the princess, I'm gonna throw bombs at you. Fuck you, Mom. Just being a little shit the whole time. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I remember getting on her nerves, but it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, those are the games that got me into it, dude.
Yeah. God, let's see. I remember the first games that like really made me want to keep playing games were Pokemon Ruby on Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Silver on Game Boy Color. Like those were the main ones, and like my mom got me a couple more Game Boy games. Let me think. Oh boy. I like the I really liked Crash 2 when I was younger. I like Crash 3. I played Spyro 1 a lot. Never really played the other two. I think one of the key moments I remember from when I was younger, I think I was like 10 or 11 or something, and I had a PlayStation 2 at my grandpa's house. And I remember for my birthday, I was going to get to spend the night at his house, and he got me Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 for the PlayStation 2. And I remember
Oops, sorry.
Very good.
My fault.
I remember playing that all night because I was so into it. Like it was like the next day, and I was still playing it. My poor eyeballs. It's no wonder I need glasses now. But that was a really
Same.
yeah. It was a really good memory for me. Oh god. I know I said Super Mario World like being one of the first games. I really liked that one a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because I'd play it and like sometimes my mom would come over or like I'd have it at home and I'd be playing it and I'd be like, "Hey mom, you want to play with me?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And we'd play a couple levels together.
That is
Oh,
why I
God,
love Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time was the game that me and my dad played a lot.
hell yeah, that's awesome.
It got to a point where we could beat the whole game in about 45 minutes.
Bro, fucking speedrun.com.
We were, man. I'm like, "Hey pops, you want to go through all the Turtles in Time?" He goes, "Hell yeah!" And then we would
Hell
just
yeah,
wreck
that's
shit.
awesome.
I love that.
Oh,
I tell
man.
that story, and a lot of my friends, back from high school, they never believed me. And the very first convention I went to was a convention called Infinite Bits in Miami. It was a very small convention. It was actually touted more as a video game museum. Ironically enough, the main celebrity speaker was Ego Raptor before Game Grumps, when he was still just an animator.
That's cool.
Really? Huh.
They had like one of those old Blockbuster style displays with a Super Nintendo in it, and they had Turtles in Time in it. And my friend Robert was like, "Oh, it's time for you to put up or shut up." And I was like, "All right." And then this one dude joined me, and we wrecked fucking shop. We beat the whole game in 45 minutes. And like,
hell yeah.
my friend Robert was like, "I'm never ever going to ever think you're lying to me again."
You put up.
There
was nothing to. Oh man.
That, and I played in a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament at that same
Oh my goodness, really?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
I played in a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament. Won it. Because I used to be very good at Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Then I'm very rusty now. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to compete. But I used to play it in arcades a lot. Loved, out of all the fighting games I've ever played, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is my absolute favorite. And what they did with 3 and Infinite was just murder my baby.
I'm so sorry. I'd hug you if I could. All right, night nibs. I do want to say one more thing. So when my mom was dating my dad, because my dad currently is my stepdad. He's just my dad though. When they were hanging out, my mom told him, she was like, "Yeah, I like to play video games." And he's like, "Oh, you want to play like Borderlands with me?" And she's like, "I've never played that." And she got into it a lot. And she and my dad played it a lot. And then like Borderlands 2 came out, and like I'll never forget this. The way she explained Borderlands was, "Yeah, it's this game where you have guns and you get to shoot dogs and they give you ammo so you can keep like shooting your guns against other stuff, and you have missions." And I was like, I don't know if I'd want to play that or not. Because I didn't understand that the dogs were like mutant dogs. She might have said that, but like she didn't really say that. So she's like,
"Mom, you have to make it more marketable."
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play that game, Mom. But so I saw my dad and her brought it. We went to my grandma's house on my dad's side for like a Super Bowl thing for the Super Bowl. And they were playing that while they were waiting for the game to go. And I watched them for a bit. I'm like, "Oh, this does look fun." So I started playing it. And I got into it. And then there would be days where like we were like after that, like I'd play it at home. And every now and then, like my mom would be like, she didn't always have to work. she'd sometimes be home on the weekends. I'd be like, "Hey, do you want to play Borderlands 2 with me?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." And we played that a lot. We actually beat the game in Borderlands 2 together. And I don't know if everyone knows this. My mom passed away November of 2021.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, it's been a lot, but recently I started playing Borderlands 2 again on the Switch,
Okay.
and like it's definitely that thing where like people say like the jar and like a ball of grief, the jar only gets bigger, the grief never gets smaller. I definitely feel that, but
I I can 100% relate to you on that because in February of 2019, my mother figure passed, and I
oh
I have not touched a Zelda game since. Every time
yeah,
I do, it hurts, you know?
yeah,
Like
it
that
does.
grief, it doesn't go away. You just grow
Yeah,
as a person around it.
you just like you see things in the game and they remind you of
Mhm.
that person, and it's
And it's
really
bittersweet.
hard. Yeah. Oh God, I feel like I've derailed this immediately.
No, that's fine.
No.
Yeah, but
Actually,
like,
this
yeah,
particular topic could bring me into the next. Um, but
um,
go
but
ahead,
yeah,
continue.
I was just gonna say like we beat the game and now like I'm playing it back through again, and there's just like moments that I remember us playing together, and like we had good times. We had a lot of good times. I remember a lot of times I would go down because I play a lot of like I like high risk, high reward characters. I like
Mhm.
melee. There's like the bandit character Krieg where you just go into a rampage for a bit and you only can melee.
Right.
And there's also like the assassin character Zero where you put out a clone and then you melee someone from behind.
Mhm.
Usually though, I use that at the beginning of a fight so I get it back like in the middle of a fight sometimes, and like when I get it back in the middle of a fight, I've basically like put myself behind enemy lines in a terrible position. So I'd go down, and mom was really good at the game. She liked I remember she liked like Mechromancer and oh, what's the one? Not Gunzerker, not Siren. I think
Mhm.
she liked the Commando a lot. That was her favorite. And she'd like throw out the turret and like it'd take out the guys, and I'd be like almost dead. She'd pick me up and she'd be like, you know, you have this tendency to run out into a bunch of guys and then get shot a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but how do I backstab them if I'm not behind them? And she goes, yeah, but you get shot a lot. And I'm like, you just don't understand my strategy. Just being a little shit.
You don't
Um,
understand my thought process.
if the enemy doesn't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm doing, no one knows what's going to happen next. Um, but we played that game a lot. We actually had like I was so into that game. I had character for when I played alone, and I had a character for when I played with her. And she I don't know. It's just like one of those things where like I know that's a huge part of my gaming life because I love Borderlands series. Um
Mhm.
and like I'm glad I'm getting back into it again. But there are times where I just gotta like, pause the game and put it down for a bit.
Yeah.
But
No, I
yeah.
get it. I get it, man.
Um but yeah, childhood of video gaming, uh master of ceremonies, take us away. What is our segue into this topic?
So
Segue us.
the next topic I wanted to talk about was the top games of this last year.
Mhm.
Both that we have streamed and both that have not streamed. Um, and the reason why I say it's a perfectly good segue, it's because it's a game I have not played on stream. I have watched it extensively. I will play it on stream eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some other games that we need to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is not Elden Ring, Sky. Unfortunately, I am not a Dark Souls person. I'm not.
Imma reveal it right now. It's Peppa Pig Complete Edition.
Absolutely. No, it is God of War Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, Dad Narok.
Ragnarok. There is a line in that game echoes the same sentiments as something Vision says in WandaVision as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a scene, and obviously, I don't think it's major spoilers, but there's a flashback to when Kratos and his wife are setting up the trees to get ready for her funeral. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, he goes, in my land, we would entomb our loved ones. He goes, oh, it would bring you comfort to have a rotting corpse next to you. He goes, yes, but you'd be here. And he was like, listen, to grieve means you've loved. It means you've loved completely.
Wow, why did that just hit me?
And
Ooh.
it hit me when she said it in the game too, and I was like, oh shit. There's a lot of lines in that
Ooh.
game that when
Wow.
like you listen to it and it fucking hits you so hard. The storytelling in that game is fucking top
Very good.
tier.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly convinced that God of War Ragnarok has the greatest character development of a single character
Mm-hmm.
in the history of gaming. I'm thoroughly convinced because I love all the original God of War games. Every God of War game I've ever played, including the side ones for the PSP, I played all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I did not play was Ascension because fuck that game. Not saying it's a bad game. It's just it was very unnecessary. It's a prequel to God of War 1 when you already know what happens there. So it's very redundant in nature.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but the what they've done with Kratos in that game is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful character developments I've ever seen, and honestly, I genuinely think Hollywood could use it as a character study for how to do character development. You have a good night, Karen Finn, and good night, Nibs, as well. I typed that in the chat that we were talking.
Yeah,
but God of War is a game I want to play. Elden Ring deserved to win Game of the Year for two reasons.
It's huge. Fucking massive.
For two reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and the main reason why I say it's the time when it came out. God of War came out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And to have a game come out at the end of the year and just sweep Game of the Year is completely unfair. Both games elevated their storytelling. Both games elevated and made their worlds bigger. Both games elevated their design and their graphics quality. Elden Ring was a bigger improvement between games than God of War and God of War Ragnarok was. So I think for that reason alone, Elden Ring deserved to win it. However, I think that if Elden Ring wasn't an option, God of War should have walked away with it. Like hands down. Did he straight deserve to win? It's a beautiful game. I don't know about that.
Stray is a walking simulator as a cat.
Yeah, I mean, I was
like
beautiful.
Stray. It's cool. It has it has a really cool concept. I like being a cat, but it is definitely a walking simulator as a cat. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but you gotta realize that's what it is. It's definitely cool how they mocapped an actual cat for like the realism. And the story was good. How are you guys
leaving out the best game of the year? And that's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
That was gonna be my honorable mention. And in fact, I believe that's an honorable mention.
All right. I have played Pokemon all my life. Scarlet Violet is cool. I like being able to play online with my friends. I really wish we could have, quality gaming, but I don't know. The glitches are funny. They definitely make the game interesting, more so than like if I'm kind of scared to say this, but like if Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had come out with no glitches or no fuck-ups of any kind, I feel like it would have just kind of been boring. Because it would have just been another Pokemon game with like, new stuff in the game, but like not a whole lot was added. I think the glitches and like all the craziness that came with it gave it more of a presence than not, which is sad to say.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon. I've been in this franchise for so long, I could probably name like 900 of the 1,000 some Pokemon that are existing. But like, it's just like, please stop making a Pokemon game every other year. Give yourselves time to develop something that will be awesome. Because like we're really getting that stride of now we can play the game with friends, and now we can have people in the same world as we're doing stuff. We don't even. I will say I will give Pokemon Scarlet and Violet like the honorable. Hey, I'm glad you didn't give me like the thing they do in Genshin Impact, where if I have friends in the game, I have like the smelliness and I can't fucking do missions with my friends
Mm-hmm.
in the same game as me. Like, kudos to you for actually like getting around that. But still, like, please just take some time. Don't crunch the game into oblivion and make something really cool and really worth remembering. I kind of wish we had gotten something like that for like the 1,000th Pokemon, you know. But it's say la vie. But anyways, continue. Any other honorable mentions you got?
Um, as
So
far
looking at
as
this list, I'm looking at a list,
Mm-hmm.
and the top 10, of course, Elden Ring is the first one. The
Mm-hmm.
second one is something called Citizen Sleeper, but would you like to take a guess what is within this top 10 at number 9? It's Chris's favorite game, and that is Power Wash Simulator.
Power Wash
Surprising.
Simulator, okay,
Your
okay.
face
We have
lit up like a
opened a
Christmas tree.
door.
Oh my god. I'm watching your camera and your face, you just brightened up so quickly. I'm definitely enthralled to hear what you have to say. Please go on.
Because Power Wash Simulator was my favorite game to stream this year.
Ah, that's awesome.
Power Wash Simulator is relaxing, it's
Mm-hmm.
soothing, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
mindless. I loved it for stream because I was able to do what we're kind of doing right now, but while
Mm-hmm.
playing the game.
Yeah, just
It did
kind of
not
chat.
require like a lot of strategy or presence of my brain to where I can
Yeah.
go and I can focus on other things. And let me tell you, I would play it off stream while I was working for like stress management.
Yeah. It's good
uh
that it's good to for that.
and I love that game. I think every streamer at some point should give it a shot and use it as a tool to communicate with their audience. Um
Mm.
I think it's I think it's a fantastic game. I've played other simulator games along the way. Like I played Lawnmower Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like it was a lot more complicated than Power
Mm-hmm.
Wash
Really?
Simulator. A lot more complicated. Um, I've played, and this one I'm going to get the full game of it, and I will play it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Called Viscera Cleanup Tale.
Oh
I
yeah.
played it on Christmas. I played the Santa one,
Yeah,
and
where all the fucking elves are dead.
so essentially, what that game is, what its regular game is, you're essentially picking up after like alien visits and cleaning up for Area
Oh,
51,
okay, that's funny.
and you gotta like clean up like these gruesome like murder areas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun. I ended up after that stream just playing it the way I would play Power Wash, and I ended
Mm-hmm.
up mastering it, and I got all the
Oh
trophies
hell yeah,
already
that's
for that
awesome.
DLC, because that's all that Santa's Rampage one is, just a DLC for the game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, that makes sense.
I only have that one because I just wanted to try it out, and
Right.
you know, freaking Maid Simulator, as I'm gonna call it now,
Mm-hmm.
is is a lot of fun. It purposely does stuff though to trip you up, like
Mm-hmm.
like the thing where you get the bucket from.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, like a stick of dynamite will come out that will kill you if you don't run away from it or get it, diffused quickly
Okay.
enough. Or
Mm.
you'll hit the stuff for the containment unit that you used to throw in the incinerator, and
Mhm.
instead more body parts will come out of it instead of
Ah,
and they're like, oh, now I gotta clean this up too.
god damn it.
So it throws that extra curveball in there, and
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a great game to stream once we've got that set up in an order.
That
Um,
Mhm.
flow.
that flow.
Mhm.
Power Wash
Mhm.
Simulator was probably my favorite game to stream this year. I would have to say I enjoyed the Pokemon streams.
Mhm.
Um, Fortnite, I have gotten a lot better at. I was very reluctant to get into Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm still reluctant.
I was very reluctant, but as I've been playing it, and I think what's happened with Fortnite is I feel like I've gotten even closer
Mhm.
to everyone that I play with.
Yeah.
It's just another game to play with them, and it's
Mhm.
I have a good time with it. It's fantastic. Um, so I'm trying to think of the other games I streamed this year.
I will say a game like that where like I got into it because my friends were playing it was Smite. Like
Oh
I
my goodness.
I'm
Smite
not
is fun when you're actually into it.
right. No, I remember building like power. Like I remember building damage Sylvanas, which is like the worst build you could probably give the man.
Mhm.
But I fucking did it because I'd root people, I'd pull them into like the ring where the tower was, and then I'd fucking ult them so they get shot up, and then they're just taking extra damage the entire time they're stuck in that ring, and they're getting hit by the tower a lot. I remember being like, "Aha! Look at me, I'm so cheesy." Um, but those are my college friends. I don't hang out with them very much now. We didn't really keep in touch. No reason, just
Mhm.
like life. But like I still remember like all the fun times I had with that. Also, I remember the fact that in the Smite store you can't buy the fucking Dr. Vonis skin. God damn it, Smite. Give us the ability to buy that skin. It's been locked ever since I started the game. That's not even fair. That's not even my fault. Like I can't even buy it with money. Like I would pay you money just to use that skin and you didn't.
I will give you real world dollars. Please take
Yes,
my money.
exactly. I just want it looks so cool. It's like Sylvanas is riding like a fucking robot instead of like regular Vanis. Oh, it's so good. It's sad though. It makes me sad. But anyways, I digress. Um some games that I've streamed 2022. Um on that list was Cult of the Lamb on there cuz that came out in 2022. I know that for sure.
Oh, did you stream that?
I did for like 2 streams. It was fun. I just like there are certain games that like I get it. I understand why they're fun. I just
Mhm.
don't get into them as much as I thought I would. Cult of the Lamb was one of those. Not because it's bad by any means. It's very good. The way they balance like the little like site building with also dungeon crawl, really
Mhm.
cool, really fun. I don't know. I just kind of didn't get into it. Uh, let's see. What was the most fun thing to stream last year? Um, uh, I gotta. Let me think. I know I streamed. I know I did the Pokemon Stadium randomizer a couple times. That was awful. Like it was awful for me, but it was funny for chat because it was such a hard thing to do. Um, but that was fun. Let's see what else. I don't think I had like a continuous game to stream last year. I was still trying to find like footing on that, I guess. I've been very much variety streamer this whole time where like I
Yep,
just play whatever.
same.
Um yeah. I think I'm gonna try and get into like a regiment of like certain things I want to do consistently. Just not like like kind of just for like fun sake, but also just like so I can have like a thing to fall back on in case like some stream doesn't work out. If I have something prepped for like all the time, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Like currently I'm doing Persona 5R, but that's like Tuesday, Thursdays, and I'm just trying to like, continue through the game. Um, but I think I might try and get like crowd control working again for Super
Mhm.
Mario World because that's right. Last year I did my first Kaizo hack of Super Mario World, which is just it's a ROM hack of Super Mario World that makes it really, really hard. Like they do things that like actually glitch and exploit the game hard
Mm-hmm.
to actually win it sometimes. I learned how to like do double shell jumps and all these other fucking crazy maneuvers. Um, I did one Kaizo hack because chat redeemed it, and then I was just like, well, I did it. And I didn't do any more Kaizo because I was like, this is stressful. This is hard. Um,
So what exactly is Kaizo?
it originally was like it was a someone had hacked Super Mario World originally in Japan. Someone hacked their copy of Super Mario World and they gave it to their friend. It was like, this is Impossible Mario. And it was like a really hard, like they hacked the ROM, so like the levels were different and really difficult. And so he get that guy, like I think he like I'm not sure what I think he like put it on the internet as like, hey, my friend gave me this ROM hack. It's really fucking hard. I couldn't beat it. And like other people were like, we'll try it. And that just kind of started a craze. So Kaizo is just
Mm-hmm.
like difficult. I think that's what it means in Japanese. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But basically if someone talks about Kaizo Mario, it's like these custom built levels that are really difficult that like people just do just kind of like the flex, but also to show off like I know what I'm doing in this game. It's really hard, but I'm proving myself that I can beat this. I don't know. It's just like the challenge aspect of it. Now, sorry, Winston. My toes touched Winston, who was sleeping at my feet, and she kind of just like,
You have disturbed the beast's slumber.
yeah. She's currently now trying to pull on my pajama bottoms. Please stop. Winston is my cat, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't have just like some person in my room pulling off my pants.
Don't let him lie to you. He sure does.
No, I don't.
So, Joe,
My-
were there any games that you played
Mhm.
that not necessarily disappointed because of the game itself, but
Mm.
disappointed because of the turnout?
Oh, okay.
Because I have two.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. I have a couple. Uh, but that's just like cause like things have happened. We did a live Dokapon Kingdom last year with me and 3 friends, and we
Right.
went and like we ended up beating it last year, and that was a lot of fun. I wish the last stream had gotten a little more hype because we were at the end. But say la vie.
Good night,
Let
Sky.
me Night Sky.
Night.
Let's see. I think there were streams that I'd like be like, I'm doing this thing and it's really cool and it's like the hip and happening now thing to do. And then like maybe like 1 or 2 people would show up and I'd be like, well, it'd be like that. And like it's not like about the number of people that show up for me anymore. It's like I just want someone to talk to while I'm streaming. Like if you message me in chat at all, I'm pretty good about like getting back to you on whatever you say.
Yeah.
But like when no one's in chat, it really like demoralizes me. I'm like, please, I just want
Mhm.
someone to say something to me.
I've always looked at those situations. All right, this is just a practice run now. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
You know, this is just more or less training.
This is my training arc. I have to take off the weights for when someone actually comes into chat.
Yeah. So you said it was Dokapon Kingdom. Was there another one? You said you had two.
Yeah, I think the other one, I believe a new. Oh God, I can't remember. I think it might have been Elden Ring actually. I started playing that on stream, and you know how like, do you know about the streamer's fallacy?
No.
Where okay, so there's 2 streamers fallacies. There's one of, oh, I want to play a video game. Well, if I'm gonna play a video game, I might as well stream it. That's one fallacy because that really drains you more than it should. But
Oh, okay.
the other fallacy people do is, oh, there's this game. I started streaming it. Oh, but I can't play it when I'm not streaming it because then if people were following along, they won't know what I'm doing anymore. So like it kind of like betrays people that like actually tune in and like come to each of my streams.
Right.
Now
Okay, I
I've
understand.
now I've basically moved on from what you know, and you're like, what the fuck? You were fighting this guy the last time I watched you stream this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did that off stream. It feels like a betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. By the way, if you wanted to know how that fight ended, you'll have to go YouTube it. And it's just like, ah. So now, like, if I play a game that I'm streaming, like a new game comes out, I'm like, all right, well, if this is new and someone's gonna come and watch me stream it, I'm gonna now have to dedicate this to streaming rather than playing it off stream in my free time. And that is the other streamer's fallacy that I've come across.
In that same regard, though, couldn't you always make like a second save? So that way you keep one for stream and one you can continue?
I definitely agree that isn't an answer to that problem, but then you also run the risk of games like Elden Ring, which are 200 hours on their own. And do you really want to split that into two different save files and make it 400 hours now? Like, I get that as an answer. And then there are games like fucking Pokemon Violet where, like, you start playing, and if it's, I think if it's like downloaded on your Switch, and like other people, like, you have to make a new account.
Yep.
And if the account doesn't have it, you have to buy it a second time.
Oh wow, are you serious?
I'm pretty sure that's how it works anymore, because Nintendo do that. But like, then I'm like, well, I don't want to buy this game twice just to play it twice, just so I can stream it and show off to people. That's no bueno. Or like, there are some games that just only have one save file. So if you're gonna stream it, you're like, well, this is just going to be a game I stream. And then like, and that's good. Like the positive side of that is, oh, this is a game I stream. I really want to play this game. So then when I'm done streaming it, like in the later of the week, I'm like, oh, I really want to play this game again. Well, I gotta stream it. So let's go stream, you know. It's like there's the positive in that. But I don't know, sometimes the negative outweighs it, just like, oh man, I want to play this, but like I'm not streaming again until like Monday or whatever. Or like I don't have the time to put in like a 2 to 3 hour stream today. I just can't.
Right.
Or sometimes just like, man, I'm really tired after like doing I'm after like being a person today. I'm really tired. I don't really want to stream tonight, but I want to play this game. Well, I guess I'll just stream it and be tired, you know? Like that's not what you want to do, but like sometimes your brain deceives you into doing that.
Yeah.
No bueno. But yeah, I think continue.
Oh no.
No, my thought was basically over. I was just trying to fill dead air.
Okay, well, I have two. I have two major ones that I wasn't disappointed in the game themselves. I was disappointed in the
yes,
because I genuinely believed at the time when I started playing them that this is gonna be good for us. You know what I mean? First one is Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I pre-ordered that game, had it pre-downloaded on my PlayStation, literally set up the stream so like we were playing something, and then at midnight, bam, we're gonna switch over to that. And as soon as I switched over, the viewership dropped like to 0. And I was like, why? Why did that happen? And then like I tried playing it a couple more times, and it just never took off. And I was like, this is like a big game. You know what I mean? The Lego games are always huge. Star Wars is definitely its own. Like why didn't this take off? And I still don't understand why it didn't. The second game though, I do understand. And it may be true for the first game too. But the second game is High on Life. I loved that game.
Yeah, that's a good
I
game.
ended up playing it off stream. Very much to the dismay of a few people.
Yeah, getting back into that streamer's fallacy.
Yep. But I ended up playing it off stream because like I had like it would either be 0 viewers or 1 viewer. And it was sporadic. And it was and the reason that was is because there were a lot of other bigger streamers that were streaming it at the same time.
Yeah. And that sucks.
And because everyone tried to get in on it, like sure, the average amount of viewers per channel was, 20
A lot.
something, was a lot,
Yeah.
like 20 or 30, but you've got a majority of these channels. You have like these bigger channels that are like 1,000, 2,000, in the thousands,
And then
you
you have
have
like
like
the people that are like ones and twos and zeros and such.
exactly the litany of the rest.
Yeah, you have like the major outliers, and then like because of them, they make the median or the average.
Exactly. So I was really disappointed because I thoroughly enjoyed the writing in that game. I thought the dialogue was very funny, and I was 100% played it as a sociopath, um,
Nice.
which is the way I believe the game should be played.
Yeah.
But it was a great game. Just really disappointed in that. I may play it later, sometime this year. Later on, though, when the hype is kind of like died down, or
Yeah, you can just kind of go balls to wall with it and have fun.
exactly. So that was that.
I will say the whole Lego Star Wars thing, it like the issue, and like you and I face this a lot. We will play a game that's new, and like everyone's going to like the new streamer or whatever. But there's also like the other factor of sometimes our community does not care for that type of thing. Like it could be very possible that like everyone's super into Star Wars, everyone's super into the Lego games, but then like you go to play that game and your community is just like not really feeling this, sorry, and they just don't watch. I had the same thing where like I tried to play like Yu-Gi-Oh on stream. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. And even though new Yu-Gi-Oh isn't great, every generation of Yu-Gi-Oh player says like, current Yu-Gi-Oh isn't what it used to be. Yeah, it's never gonna be what it used to be, old timer. Um, the issue is my community. I talk to people in my community, and they're like, "We have never played Yu-Gi-Oh, and we don't understand it." And I'm like, "Oh." And I'm kind of almost thinking about doing like a primer on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, so my fucking Discord would be like, "Oh, we understand what you're doing." I don't think it'll make them watch the game, but like at least then they get what I'm talking about.
There is that reminds me of somebody else. Used to be a part of our server. He no longer is there, but he would play a game called Go.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. And he played Go a lot.
He played it a lot. Almost like he
What is
carved
Go?
out. It's like a brick breaker style game. I never really watched it, but I remember him talking about it. And like he kind of carved out a niche for himself with.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
you met your fiance through Go? That's crazy. Sorry, context for those not in Twitch.
Yeah.
For the later recording. Leaves in our chat here just said that she loves Go and that's how she met her fiance. And you know what?
Oh,
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
That's awesome. You love to hear it. But I feel like people that do that, where they just keep playing the same game, if they're really into that game, more power to you. If that's what you want your niche to be on streaming, like high fives all around. If that's what you get and that's what you want, honestly, I'm happy for you. And I feel like I don't know if you've heard about this. There have been a lot of streamers lately that like they play like Apex or like whatever like the current shooter is. I've heard some people like that were streaming and they're like, "Ah, there's nothing to stream. There's not like a whole lot of games to stream anymore or whatever." And like it's the fact that they've streamed the same game for months, just repeatedly playing the same game, and they're just getting burnt out. But like they've carved that niche for themselves. So like if they don't stream that game, their viewership drops, and when Twitch is your job, you can't let that happen. And that super sucks, and I feel so bad for them because I get where they're coming from. It just sucks when they're like, "Oh, there's nothing to stream." what they're really saying is there's nothing I can stream that will retain the viewership I'm having.
Right. And Leaves brings up a good point that, even though it is a niche game, it has a set amount of viewers and it's easy to affiliate, but it also skews your view on how easy it can get views.
True.
I kind of want to clarify that, like, I never thought, playing that game is an easy way to do that. In fact, I really don't think there is a set easy way to get to affiliate or partner or whatever status you're looking for on Twitch, YouTube, etc.
I believe there is just a higher power that looks at you, flips a coin, and then depending on how the coin lands, says, yes, you are chosen. And even though I say it's a coin flip, it's more like they flip 3 billion coins and they all have to land heads for you to be like a top influencer or content creator. So, it's a lot of luck.
Exactly. And it's a lot of luck. There's work that you could put in to get yourself there, as far as like networking, as far as being consistent. Which I know I struggle with networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man. I'm afraid to talk to people online. People scare me when it comes to text format. I'm like, I don't know how you are going to react to me asking you anything ever.
I know what you mean. Dude, I am scared to talk to people in general. I have been here silent as fuck for like 20 minutes.
Oh no.
Like I don't think the actual act of networking is hard. My problem has always been I don't have the time. Like my problem is time, and
you are a busy man.
Like I have the stuff that I do here at home. I have my own job that I have. I have the stream that I do damn near nightly.
Like, a man actually followed through with Giles teaching. He went home and became a family man.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that one day I can do that too. Have my own family. But it's one thing. It's just time. I wish there were more hours in the day.
Gingy's just saying, yo, fucking market yourself while you're shitting. If you have time to shit, you have time to tweet, my guy.
You do.
Well,
that's not.
And that's a resolution I have for this channel this year, and that's why I wanted to do the podcast. I wanted an additional way to do this, an additional way to market us. Instead of just taking random clips and throwing them on TikTok. As I pull
2023, tweeting and shitting.
Tweeting and shitting.
Tweeting and shitting 2023.
I've done strides with the merch store over the last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know why you're laughing, but if you really want to laugh, all right, go ahead and Go ahead and scan that.
So I don't think you realize why I'm laughing. Cause I'm laughing because on my channel I don't have merch, but I have the redeem of I have to like do a YouTuber apology, where like I set up like really somber music and I'm like I apologize for whatever the person wants me to apologize for. It could be some random bullshit, but I always end it with, so if you hold on, it's like. And I just turned on the tears part of my VTuber model. I'm like, so if you have it in your heart to forgive me, all I could ask you to do is to like, comment, and subscribe and buy my merch. Like an actual YouTuber apology. Just like.
So.
Yeah. So what were you thinking I was laughing about?
Oh, because I was doing the little
logo,
the little things like that show like
the QR code.
Well, right now I have a QR code up, and if you scan that, it will take you to the merch store.
Yeah,
it does. I just did it.
So
hey, while you're over there, you should buy something. Just fucking. I have the best ability to sell out for my friends. I will never do that for me.
I am also someone who's like that. as well.
Like, oh man, don't buy my stuff. Go buy my friend's stuff. They have really good stuff.
I mean, I worked hard on a lot of the designs of stuff, so
You did.
And they're beautiful.
I still have that hoodie.
You should
It's
plug
really
it as
nice.
much as possible.
Bro, plug that shit in all the time.
so I'm like, even though like I have this little one for the TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about actually switching them all to QR codes that are animated that way.
Oh,
So
that'd
that-
be cool.
Because like one of the comments I've get is like, oh well, they're not clickable links. With the QR code, you can scan it.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
how
then
people
they're not
watching on a
clickable.
phone are going to be able to do that, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
you
help.
you could always have like a bot command in your stream that's just literally exclamation point links and just shoots out all your links at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spider-Man. Just did I just unlock like did I just like fucking 40 mind chest you right now?
Fuck.
It's a learning process. This is why we're
Yeah,
on
no,
here.
like, do you think I figured that shit out on my first stream? Hell no.
Fuck. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight after the podcast ends. I know what I'm working on.
Since
Oh,
this is
man.
just all vocal and since this is all vocal and verbal, and we are hitting the 2-hour mark, do you think maybe you could switch over to a game or?
Should we end the podcast session at 2 hours?
I mean, that is a typical podcast, and we like literally
Yeah.
we're shy.
This might be enough for 2 episodes.
Honestly,
We're shy.
I feel like
we're a little shy of 2 hours because I think we waited like a
couple minutes.
the 10
Yeah.
minutes for
Right,
the intro.
but like this is definitely a good episode 0, if anything, just getting our footing and understanding what we want to do.
yeah, and I
Uh,
mean, we hit 2 out of the 3 topics I had written down, so
Yeah.
that lets
Plus,
me
you
know that.
fucking
What was your third topic?
good question.
The third topic I wanted to touch on.
Fans wait with bated breath.
I'll touch on it briefly because I've talked about this in recent weeks, and it's something that I am a champion of at the moment. There is
Being sexy.
Bingo.
No. There is this on TikTok.
Sexy bingo champion.
Sexy
wish.
bingo champion,
I
Grizzle
wish.
Craw Gaming.
There's this kid, like an 8-year-old child. He was on TikTok.
Oh, you told me about this. That's right.
His name his username was the Marvel Geek, and he was just a comic book content creator.
Yeah.
And he was ruthlessly bullied off of the platform multiple times because of his opinions on Batman. And
yeah,
there was another creator on there, which is how I found out about it. I follow a bigger content creator for comic books named King Lion. And King Lion's awesome. If you really want information directly from the books and from the sources, King Lion is a great follow. The only drawback with him is that he ruthlessly hates Batman and will rip Batman and Goku to shreds. Other than that,
yeah,
but he always backs it up with evidence.
Like, yeah.
So like he's even convincing me like Bruce Wayne's a piece of shit.
Yeah. No, bro, he has prep time to show you why Batman's terrible.
I think there's definitely a lot to divulge in this third
I feel like
topic.
this would
I
be
feel like this
great
is a good
another episode
amount.
topic.
He was not bullied for being underage. He was bullied for his opinions, and he was bullied by grown men and grown women, which was what I was going to get into.
Difference.
But I think I could just say, if you get a chance, you follow King Lion on TikTok and watch those videos, do it. If you get a chance to follow the Marvel Geek on his YouTube page, which now, because his parents have taken him off TikTok, for good fucking reason.
Yeah, you don't need to be on TikTok.
And they
I'd argue you don't even need to be on YouTube. But...
If even just a simple follow for him, even if you don't watch, I think would mean the world to that little kid.
Yeah,
and I think
he's a small child. Let him still enjoy the fact that there are good things in this life. When he's been ruthlessly harassed.
what happened was these grown men and women would mass report this kid's page, and then
Yeah.
TikTok themselves would ban their page, and then he remade his page 2 or 3 different times, and the same thing would happen. So the parents had enough, and they moved his platform to YouTube, where that's not happening.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's amazing how people will take things so seriously.
Exactly. And
yeah,
you know, there's one thing that I feel for the most. It's always kids. They're innocent.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like,
They don't know.
not only do they not know, but I think that they shouldn't have to see the world the way that we see it.
Yeah,
I think when the time comes for them to realize that there are parts of this world that suck, they should be at an age where they can handle it.
yeah.
You
They're
know,
not emotionally ready for that
they're still
at the age of
developing.
8. Yeah,
They're still developing who they are. And you know, that kind of blow to one's confidence. You know, but kudos to the kid, because he kept fighting and he kept coming back. And
yeah.
you know, he's
That's
doing what he's
definitely
doing.
a lot stronger than I would have been at 8. You know.
Exactly. And I wanted to take a moment just to talk about that. And now that I have, I can X that off. We've talked about everything in the 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, we can definitely come back to that as like a topic in another podcast session where just like
yeah, we could.
you know, I will say, this is your man. I don't know if anyone likes Batman in this call. I will say I'm fucking tired of the argument. If Batman has prep time, he can beat anyone. No shit. If anyone has prep time, they can beat anyone. What do you mean?
I'm gonna say this right now. If you want to talk about Batman, go read some of the newer comics that came out with a character called Failsafe that Bruce Wayne created. And Failsafe is one-shotting the entire DC universe right now.
Wow.
Failsafe has fucked everyone up.
Yeah.
I
don't even dislike Batman that much. My thing is I see that argument whenever someone brings up like cartoon characters fighting, which is already dumb in itself, in my opinion. Like if the writer wants if the writer wants someone to win, they will make a reason for them to win the fight. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like they're gonna win. Like, oh man, Spider-Man could never like truly defeat Deadpool, and then the writer's just like, and then Deadpool's heart exploded, and then he died. And they're like, what? That's not how it works. It's just like, well, the guy who writes the comic books just said it is, so you gotta deal with that, my guy.
Comic book writer is God.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm tired of everyone giving Batman the excuse of if Batman has prep time, he can beat anybody. Bro, if Goku has prep time, he can get the Dragon Balls and wish the problem away. What do you mean?
Yeah, he could.
The death battle debate scene.
That's kind of what I'm getting into.
We can definitely put that as a marker for the next podcast. Yes, we can definitely put
like as another thing in the future. But I feel like this podcast is starting to get to that limit of 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
we're right there. So I am going to call it a night for the podcast.
Questions, comments, concerns.
You know, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can go to the Discord page.
You could.
Which I can get the link for again.
Yeah.
But
I will say, since I have calmed down a bit, let me go back really quick for a quick second. I don't think I said why I want to get into streaming.
Oh yeah, why do you want to get into streaming? We'll add that as like a little addendum real quick.
Yeah, so I want to get into streaming because I see Game Theory. They stream, you know? They don't just do theory videos.
Yeah.
They at one point did I think it was a 24-hour, I might be wrong. Don't know how long, but they did charity streams, and like, you know, I would love to be able to do that one day.
Yeah.
You know, if I get big enough. But besides that, it's just give back to any type of community I may be able to build.
I'll be honest. I'm trying to plan out a charity stream for May, like probably the Saturday before Mother's Day. to like donate to like leukemia research so that like people don't have to go through what my mom went through.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2020. Having leukemia is like the worst combination of things that could have happened.
Yeah.
But I'm going to jump off that real quick and just be like, yeah, I agree. I also want to use my platform for good. I definitely get where you're coming from on that one. Also, ahoy, JC. I gotta say
Ahoy,
that.
JC.
Ahoy, ahoy.
But
Just a little
yeah,
bit,
I
so
feel
barely
like
hear 'em.
this is a very good first. Like, this is definitely episode 0 podcast.
This is definitely a meaty podcast.
Yeah,
Lots of meat.
lots
Maybe
of meat.
a little
Well,
potato
We
lacking.
can listen back to it later and be like, okay, here's some things we can improve. But remember, we're always improving.
This is episode 0. We are
Yeah.
just building a foundation.
Like, why we're here.
Next, we're gonna put the support beams.
Yeah. Yeah. You could
Build the
literally
whole
just
Crizz
title
house.
you could literally title the first podcast episode, Why Are We Here?
I mean, I think I named it like a new journey or starting.
Yeah.
Starting a new journey. Yep.
Yeah. If you want help getting that to like other podcasting stuff, I definitely used Anchor. And they were very easy to do. So definitely worth that. It sends it to like Apple, Google, I'm pretty sure it sends it to Spotify and some other platforms. That way you can just like mass link it later.
I will rip the audio tomorrow.
Nice.
Tomorrow I'll get my MacBook open. I'll rip the audio and I will start the process of getting it together and getting it the way we want it.
Nice. Let me know when that goes out, because I have like family members that actually be somewhat interested in this kind of topic. I know my cousin would be, my aunt would be, and like some other people. And I could just definitely share this around. Hell, I'd post it in my fucking Discord, that's for sure. Tell my community to be like, hey, guess what? I'm on a thing now. Are you driving somewhere?
Podcast. Here, listen to my sexy voice.
Oh, you think? Oh, no one thinks my voice is sexy. I know I don't. But
sexy barista, sexy bingo man. Bingo champ, sorry.
Bingo champ, let's go.
Someone has to change Crizz's name to that in the Discord.
Sexy bingo champ. That sounds like a job for Nibs. But yeah, definitely let me know, because I want to. One thing, I want you to succeed. Even if I'm not here for every episode, I definitely want you to succeed, so I'm gonna fucking post that everywhere. So,
well, I'm grateful for that.
Hi, grateful. I'm Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
But I think we've now pretty much hit that 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone who did all of the subs, because that was just amazing. And thank you for taking the time to listen and to be a part of this. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy with how it's come out, and I can't wait to do it again next week.
We love you. Mwah.
Love you guys too. And so I'm gonna ask a question that I get asked a lot. Baha, do you want to play Faz?
Yes. Yes.
JC,
Yes,
do you
I
play
do.
Faz?
Yes.
Is Nibs in?
Oh
You are
God,
so
my
low,
echo
JC.
is so loud. Take it back.
I'm loud.
Oh.
I will say, I'm gonna say this just so you know where to end the podcast, in case. Podcast out.
Podcast out.
Bye,
There
guys.
we go.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let me switch scenes. Well, that concludes the first episode of the CrizzleCast. I'm glad that you stuck around. We will be doing this every single Sunday on Twitch live at around 10 p.m. And then they will be uploaded to all the following outlets afterwards. So keep in tune, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.